are you kind of inflating the market in a way where, you have rich parents, they want you to get in, here's what the seller's only willing to part ways with? Over time, if you actually didn't have that gift, like, would that transfer of wealth, help bring prices down? I mean, I really don't know, but yeah, it's just funny to see, right? If you got rich parents, then you have a better chance of owning a home in the country now. What do you guys think about? Did you guys see how much parents gift the first time buyers?
No,
Did you guys see
what are
that from
the
CIBC? The
what's
I
the
numbers?
remember
percent?
something
I've
about it,
seen
but
they've been
Yeah,
releasing that every like year or so.
is
They'll
it
give a new
something
report on
new?
it.
Is it
Yeah.
yeah. So
something new? Like, haven't
they
people in
released it.
Toronto always been getting gifts in order to like afford a down payment?
One point there was like
I
180,000, and then it was like they've talked
Yeah,
about
in
different
Vancouver,
metrics.
it's 205,000 roughly is how much the first time home buyer needs. So, but just if you strip that out, right? If you strip those gifts being given away,
Yeah.
does that,
And the
are you?
guarantee. You need the
Yeah,
guarantee too.
yeah. Are you kind of inflating the market in a way where, you have rich parents, they want you to get in, here's what the seller's only willing to part ways with? Over time, if you actually didn't have that gift, like, would that transfer of wealth, help bring prices down? I mean, I really don't know, but yeah, it's just funny to see, right? If you got rich parents, then you have a better chance of owning a home in the country now. It's not like back in the day, right? Where, I don't know, my Nono and Nona came here from Italy, and they just worked and they bought a house in Hamilton, and they didn't have, they weren't making a ton of money. But I always look at price to income, and how much that multiplier looks like. And right now it's doesn't make sense. So
Bad. Doesn't make
it's
Yeah.
sense.
bad. Yeah.
Hasn't
Yeah.
made sense for a long time. But like I was saying, people like buyers are still willing to pay because like psychologically they're just okay. And one of Brooke's points earlier is if they're buying and selling in the same market, do they really care that they're
Yeah.
overplaying and that the market's going to crash 50%? They're going from
Depends
the
what
house
their
that they don't
interest
like
rate
into the house that
was,
they do like.
right?
So they're like, whatever, like, okay, if the market crashes, it would have crashed while I was living at that other house that I was at. I want to be happy.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's still a
Yeah.
large volume of transactions. And we just have so many of those people that it just sort of, and then it supports it because then that guy, he sold his place for $1 million. So he bought that other place for 1.2. He doesn't care. He's getting an extra bedroom or whatever his value is on that extra 200,000. So the next guy who comes in who's a first time buyer looks around and says 1.2 for a 4 bedroom. Like that's insane. Like these used to be $800,000 only a few years ago, but the last comp is 1.2 because that guy was willing to pay it. So
Right.
the
Yeah.
next seller is not going to sell it to you for less. He wants 1.2, right?
Right.
And eventually the buyers are going to go, well, this is the price. I got to pay it. So yeah, it's a hard thing to change. And I was telling a story before that we had a client tell me that he was trying to get rid of his place down in Parkdale when the market was crazy and things were really bad in the 90s. And he couldn't give away the house. It was a rental property that cash flowed. And he tried to donate it to charities. He tried to give it away to
No
anybody.
way.
Nobody wanted the house. There was just such a lack of interest in real estate. Everyone was like, real estate, bad. Don't buy real estate. So it was a psychological shift that happened through massive amount of power sales, economic circumstances, high unemployment. People were they got burned by the market from everybody who bought at the end tail end of the 80s. That's when
Yeah.
really we start to see things change when people all of a sudden just go, whoa, real estate's actually not a good investment. That's what happened
And
in the
could
States.
we be there, right? Like, could this be the start of that, right? That lost decade like we had in the 90s where, real estate went down? Because I know a lot of millennials that I talk to, and they don't even think about home ownership. They're not interested in it. Even from my friends, they're like, no, we just rent, and, we can't afford a semi-detached in Toronto for 1.4, 1.5 million. Like, we have no interest in it. So could we, to your point, he couldn't give it away. Could we be headed for that sort of stagnation in the Canadian economy where people just become uninterested with real estate? And like, Brooke and I aren't that busy. I know a lot of big time realtors that aren't that busy either, who I chat with, who do a lot more volume than me, and they're saying, this is one of the worst times I've seen in a decade. So I don't know, maybe
Crazy.
this trend is going to continue, or maybe rates drop and the bond yield drops, and things become more affordable again. But I don't know. I guess every week's different. So to make predictions is challenging.
There's a solution in every market. Okay.
Mm.
It doesn't matter. Good markets, bad markets, whatever it is. It's more clients.
More
You got
leads.
to work twice as
More
hard right
money.
now to get more clients. That's the bottom
For
line.
sure.
If I can give any agents advice, what we did last year to make an income will not work this year. You have to do twice as much this year. So then that way, when that listing doesn't sell, it's okay because another one does that you were able to secure. When that buyer says he doesn't want to buy it, it's no problem because you're working with 3 other ones. When that person rejects you, when that person says they're going with another agent, when you go to call that person and you look up their address and they're already listed with someone else, that sting goes away because you've already got all these other clients with you. And
Yeah.
you know, it's hard. You know, it's hard to find clients. You know, and more clients is the answer. And right now, it's at least double the work. We talked to a big network across North America. Nobody is saying we're doing the same work we did last year and getting the same results. Nobody. And these are mega teams, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's saying it's at least double the work that we were
Yeah.
doing last year, double the touch points,
You
double the
guys
time
owe
on
us a few
double
good
everything.
years of hard work because you didn't have to do much for the last few years prior to this, right?
Didn't look like that. No,
That's
didn't look
It
like
didn't
that.
look like that, that's for sure.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our clips channel. Why don't you go and check out some more clips? We got lots of other good content somewhere over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.